Thank you for clicking this video. This is Batok with Ola. My name is Mujola Oluwa, and in today's video we want to talk about rulings. In the last video we talked about judgments and all the old works, but today we want to talk about ruling briefly. A ruling is like a judgment of the court, but it's not a judgment per se, in that it's like the younger brother or the younger sister of the judgment. So a ruling is like a lesser judgment. A ruling is the decision of the court over an application that has been made before the court. So if you were to file a motion, probably a motion for extension of time, a motion for anything at all in court, and the other party were to file a counter affidavit actually opposing the motion, or maybe they even left the motion unopposed. Once you have filed a motion that the court has to decide upon, that decision is called a ruling, not a judgment. So it is usually interlocutory, in this, not in the sense of interlocutory motions now, but in the sense that it is in between or along the process of deciding a matter, during the main trial or even before the main trial. So it could be that an objection has been raised, probably a preliminary objection. The court will have to decide on that, and the process of deciding on it, the judgment is called a ruling, not a main judgment. Most times these days, some courts take the preliminary objection alongside the judgment, the final judgment of the court. But in some other cases, the court makes a ruling on the preliminary objection before the substantive matter is heard. So what is a ruling? Essentially, it is a decision of the court on an application before it, but not the final decision of the court. Just like a judgment, a ruling can be appealed even up to the Supreme Court. Yes, so you can appeal a ruling the same way you can appeal a judgment. That's a similarity. I've said that the difference is that the ruling is not the final decision. When a matter goes to trial, the final decision is called a judgment, but a ruling is a decision on an aspect of the case or on an application that has been made during the pendency of the case, or even before the case goes to trial, maybe a preliminary objection. So that's what I wanted to clarify in this video. The court is empowered to make a ruling just as it is empowered to make a judgment, and a ruling can be made. There's no 90-day rule for a ruling. That is, it can be made at any reasonable time that the court arrives at the decision. There are even some judges that would make bench rulings. That means that they would not even rise. Once you make an application and the other party opposes or refuses to oppose, they would make a ruling instantly. It's called a bench ruling. They will sit down, write it there, and then deliver it. So a ruling is delivered just the same way that a judgment is delivered. That's another similarity. But you cannot sit down and make a bench judgment. So that's another difference. Judgments are usually judgments are given more consideration and take longer, traditionally, to be delivered. So I don't think that I've ever seen a case where a judge would sit down and do the judgments. If you're a young lawyer, rulings are very easy to come by. Your principal or your firm could have filed a motion and they will send you to get a ruling in the matter. If, for instance, I remember that during my time, the first ruling I ever got was a ruling on a no-case submission that had been filed by my firm, even before I got to the firm. So it was about a week or 2 weeks or some days after my court to buy, I was sent to court to get that ruling. So the ruling on the no-case submission was that we should enter our defense because the no-case submission was overruled. So a ruling can be made on different aspects of the cases, but the final decision is called a judgment. So that's all I have for you in this video. Please watch the video on judgments and read up more about rulings. Leave me comments in the comment section if you have any questions or want to take the conversation further. You can always mail me at houseoflivingstones@gmail.com, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you in my very next video. Toodles.